Huge news shook the print-on-demand world, and today we are going to talk about it. Yes, the long-awaited video from me on the Printify and Printful merger. I purposely have held off on making this video because I think there are a lot of great videos out there that are very data-driven and have information and facts that have directly come from Printify and Printful, and they have answered questions on the fact that they don't anticipate prices to change, they don't anticipate there to be any immediate changes to membership fees, and all those different types of nuanced pieces. This video is not that video. This video is going to be a yap sesh from me based on my predictions, given all of the things that I've seen happen at Printify and Printful lately. And I'm excited to present you with 4 different predictions. So this is gonna be my hot take. Before I get into that hot take, I am going to spend a minute to explain exactly what is happening for those that are new here. Printify and Printful have merged. Big news, breaking news, exciting. Printify doesn't actually ship anything. They operate as a marketplace where buyers and sellers can find each other to sync up on which products they want to be shipping from which print provider. So as an example, I operate my own print-on-demand shop on Shopify and Etsy. I go onto Printify and find different products that I would like to list in my shop. Those are actually shipped by other companies, but I can find the ones that I want across a large range of different suppliers to make sure that I'm choosing the types of suppliers that have good reviews or the right type of shipping location and the right type of shipping times. I find the suppliers that I want. I set up my products to make sure that they're coming from those suppliers. And when an order comes in from Printify, Printify doesn't actually ship anything. They just make sure that it gets connected through their platform so that way my order goes from me to that print provider for them to ship things out. So again, Printify doesn't ship anything. They don't own manufacturing facilities. They operate as a software company, and they are the middleman for these purchases. Now, Printful is very different, and Printful is actually a print supplier. So all of the products that you see on their website are going to be products that they ship themselves. So they have actual facilities across the world, and they are printing and packaging and shipping these products when that order comes in. So they're a little bit closer to the customer service. They are not acting as a middleman, and they actually own those facilities. As of now, as of this month, they are now merged and they are owned by the same company. And so they have a vested interest in each other's success, which I think will kick off a few different dynamics that I want to talk about today. So keeping in mind what we've just learned about Printify and Printful, I'm going to get into my predictions with the first prediction. I think Printify is going to use Printify Choice to funnel a lot of their orders from other print providers to Printful. Thinking about this from a business sense is very interesting because Printify is so smart in the way that they've rolled this out. It's likely that Printify and Printful have been in these merger conversations for a long time. Typically when a merger happens, it's because they can increase efficiency or they can gain a bigger market share or they can innovate better. So they've likely been discussing this for a long time, testing and iterating and doing different things that might support this merger. And the first thing that I think is tied to that is Printify Choice. So Printify Choice rolled out earlier this year. And basically what Printify said is, hey, if you don't want to choose the print provider and you want to give that opportunity up to us, we will ensure that it gets out at a reasonable cost and it gets there as fast as possible. It basically said if you're comfortable with giving up a little bit of that control and not specifically choosing Swift POD or Demona T, you let us do that for you and we'll make sure that it gets there under the budget that you set and as fast as possible. And so they've already allowed a lot of sellers to be comfortable with this idea of, hey, yeah, as long as it gets there on time and the quality is good, go for it, bro. And so I think what they'll be doing is they'll be taking maybe not 50%, maybe not 70%, but I think they'll be taking a hefty percentage of these sales that would have previously gone to normal print providers like Demona T or Swift POD and funneling them over to Printful. And this leads me to my second prediction. I think that smaller print shops or just the print shops that operate across the United States that are not Printful, they are going to be the losers of this merger. And the reason I think that is, I just mentioned that my assumption is that a lot of these orders are going to be Printify Choice, meaning that they will just automatically be pushed over to Printful because now Printify has a vested interest in making sure Printful succeeds. And if they can make money on the sale, that is a higher profit margin by actually shipping the product, of course, they're going to do that. So what that would likely mean is that there will be less demand coming through to the smaller print shops that have listed on Printify. And this whole merger is really giving to me Amazon. It's giving Jeff Bezos. And if you remember, or maybe you don't remember, but Amazon really started as a marketplace for selling books. That's how it got started. That's all they had. And over the years, they've obviously grown to be this ginormous company that you can literally buy and sell anything. But what's happened along that journey is they found out that they have all of this data. They've been aggregating all this data, so they know who bought it, how much the volume that company is selling it for, how fast that trend is changing, and how to market to the people that are buying that. So they were able to say, hey, we actually own all this data. Instead of having a person that's looking for batteries be directed to Duracell, we are going to make our own products, the Amazon Basics brand, and we are going to direct those folks to Amazon. As a consumer, you can either buy the OG brand, or you can go through and have a little bit of a cheaper product and buy that from the Amazon brand. And so they've been rolling this out for years and years now, and it's hurt brands. But ultimately, what are those brands going to do? What is Duracell going to do? Say, oh, I'm not going to ship my products on Amazon anymore and lose all of that channel volume? No, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to be mad about it, but they're kind of handcuffed in that way. And that's why I think it's going to be the smaller print shops across the world that end up suffering the most with this merger, because you're taking away a little bit of that competition. And while, yes, consumers can still choose, shops like me can still choose our favorite print provider, it may make more sense if you just go through and buy the slightly cheaper option. There's a lot of debate going on right now amongst the print-on-demand community about, will prices go up or down? I think the jury's out on this one. But in my mind, I don't think it makes sense that prices would go up so dramatically. I think that what would likely happen, or at least initially, is that prices remain flat or even go down a little bit, because folks are going to need to be integrated into Printful with more of that like Printify Choice type of thing. And that might end up hurting those print shops that exist. Maybe in the future, prices are going to go up. I mean, prices are going to go up regardless. They definitely have. But again, as you've heard many times before, Printify, Printful only make money if we make money. So there's not a huge incentive for them to significantly raise prices. But I do think it will be the smaller shops and the individual shops across the world that end up suffering the most here. There is a caveat to that though. And for my third hot take, I believe that there are going to be some winners that show up here that creates a new market opportunity. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, mergers bring about the opportunity for innovation. And so what I really think is going to happen here is if you have a differentiated product that is not a t-shirt, is not a sweatshirt, is not a candle, is not a water bottle, but something that is really different in the space, I think this is a really good opportunity to take up more share on Printify, because Printify is likely going to start diverting a lot of those sales over to Printful that are coming in for a lot of these like standard products. But I think you'll see a bigger differentiation of products on Printify. We've already started to see this in the last year or so with Printify launching coffee, skincare, supplements. And so I really think that Printify is positioning this merger as a way to take a bigger bite out of that white label market and going deeper, going after companies like Supplyful that they do white labeling for actual like supplements. I think you're going to see way more of this on the Printify side of things as they dedicate all of their status quo business to Printful and really focus on bringing more of these new, unique products to their platform. I think this because when I go onto Printify and I look up how to become a merchant and how to become a partner with Printify, first of all, there's a wait list. So that says to me, okay, not just any Joe Schmo can come into Printify, which is good. They make sure that the product quality is great and everything like that. But they specifically call out, do you produce consumer goods? We're looking for partners offering consumer packaged goods such as food, beverages, cosmetics, and household cleaning products. I really think that they're going to take a bigger bite out of this market for TikTok Shop and white labeled goods. And we should likely see more of this in the coming months and years. So I'm excited about it. I think the upside for profit and profit margin is really high for these types of products. And we'll have to keep an eye on what happens in the space in the coming months. The last prediction that I have is going to be more on the Printful B2B side. So one really interesting piece about Printful is that they actually integrate with this company called Fourth Wall. And Fourth Wall is a company that basically allows you to set up a print-on-demand shop, but you don't actually run the customer service. Somebody else runs that for you. So it's basically just a site builder that integrates with Printful, and they have people that will do the customer service for you. So this was really something that was created for creators that are making content, have an audience, that audience is interested in buying products from them, but they don't have the know-how or the interest in actually growing a brand. Instead, they're going to dedicate that time to continuing to make their content and building that audience, and they're going to allow this company called Fourth Wall to handle their site management, product shipping, and customer service. The only thing that that creator has to do is market that site and market those products, and then all of the other pieces are done for them. So it takes a lot of burden off of a creator. I'm going to set this shop up, I'm going to make my designs, and then from there, it's going to run on autopilot. As long as I'm driving traffic there, I'm not having to deal with the actual technical stuff involved with it. So it's a very, very cool site, but they probably have tons and tons of data from Fourth Wall about who is interested in this type of market. And so since that integrates with Printiful, I'm curious to see what ends up happening on the B2B space there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Printful decided they want to do something like this themselves. They want to create a platform that is a site builder as well, take even more margin from the company, handle the customer service for folks, and really continue to grow and expand the business. Maybe not within the creator vertical, but maybe it is a B2B company vertical where they say, and they go to companies and they go, hey, Amazon, do you want to set up a account with us to allow us to ship all of your employee merchandise? Who knows what's really going to be in this space, but I think we'll hear more and more about B2B print on demand as well, just given the fact that Printful and Fourth Wall have that partnership. Hopefully this was interesting. I've been kind of waiting, researching, letting all my thoughts ruminate, and I'm excited to put them out there. If you have any comments and you agree or you disagree, please throw them in the comments. Keep note that we have been told that there is no immediate action needed for us that are using Printify and or Printful. So try to remain chill. It's Q4, it's shopping season, it's time to make money. If this was interesting whatsoever, please like and subscribe for more content like this.